How's it going, everybody? C-RadTV back here in our video, and welcome to another Detroit Lions 2024 NFL Draft Preview. So in the last draft preview, we took a look at the top Day 3 quarterback prospects in rounds 4 through 7 of the 2024 NFL Draft. And in this one, we're going to continue the Day 3 draft previews and take a look at the top running back prospects in rounds 4 through 7 of the 2024 NFL Draft. Now, running back, I'm pretty sure, is the furthest thing from a need for the Lions, especially with how great David Montgomery and Jahmyr Gibbs were last year, that duo. But, never hurts to have an extra running back or two in case one of them goes down, since both of them did miss a couple games last year to injury. So it never hurts to have an extra running back or two in the system. Plus, also open up another wrinkle in the passing game, possibly, for Goff to throw to. But yeah, we'll take a look at some of these running backs for depth and see who would be interesting to take a look at. So, let's go. So, the first running back we're going to go over here, hailing out of Oregon, standing 5'9", weighing 195 pounds, we got Bucky Irving. So, for Bucky's strength, slicing runner, makes sharp cuts, minimal build-up. Processes leverage, breakthrough at the line of scrimmage like a veteran. Good short area quickness, allows him to weave in and out of traffic without getting caught. Hard runner will give everything he can despite his size. Feel and shake with the ball in his hands. It could draw interest as a punt returner or slot receiver, which punt returner could be crucial, especially with the new kickoff rules. Rarely surprised by hits. Very efficient angles. No wasted movement. Gets skinny, makes himself a much smaller target near the line of scrimmage. Terms of weaknesses, though, small back, frame of a slot receiver. Lacking in speed for a back with his frame and style of play. Gets jostled around, bullied in compact areas. Will likely be off the field in short yardage situations. Body catcher or lie on his chest to snag passes. Hittable target without the elusiveness to make defensive backs miss in space. He can get bulldozed as a blocker when he goes head-to-head. In terms of NFL comparison, he's been compared to Tajay Spears of the Tennessee Titans. Overall, a lot of things like out of his game, and, could be an interesting prospect for special teams for kick and punt return. So the next player we're going to go over here, hailing out of Georgia, standing 6'1", weighing 220 pounds, we got Kendall Milton. So for Kendall, he's your prototype blocking running back because he's a physical opposing back, prototypical size. His stature, strength, wide base, and pass protection makes him easy to trust on passing downs. Terms of strength, SEC back through and through, muscled up frame, drags defenders, creates plenty of yards after contact, both in space and in between tackles. He's able to maintain balance, can keep feet in difficult situations. His size and physicality, flash and pass protection, he won't be overwhelmed hitting free rushers. Shrugs off arm tacklers, precise angles, discipline as a runner, avoids wasted openings, identifies pressure quickly, has good feel for angling away from contact. In terms of weaknesses, though, high center of gravity will make him easy to chop down. Hittable runner, very little jitter, lacks the explosion to beat linebackers in a race. Straight line runner, gets snagged early in reps as a result. No value as a return or receiver going forward. Lack of targets in his career will leave uncertainty around about his hands. In terms of NFL comparison, he's been compared to Trey Sermon of the Indianapolis Colts. Overall, there are a lot of things to like out of his game. He's very big and physical. Definitely I think someone to keep an eye on for sure. So the next player we're going to go over here, hailing out of TCU, standing 5'7", weighing 202 pounds, we got Imani Bailey. So for Imani's strengths, good home run speed, jittery running back, thrives beating second-level defenders, especially linebackers in the foot race. Good vision instincts, takes advantage of any defender with limited change of direction agility. Shifts on the fly, shutter step to full stride. Fits in the human joystick category, has balance, short area explosiveness in all directions. Plays well as an outside runner, beats defensive defenders to the edge on the sideline. Has the body control to stay in bounds. Good enough receiver, can stay on the field for all downs and distances. Runs a clean route, has a good grasp of the route tree, his roll on a down-to-down basis. In terms of his weaknesses, though, he runs into his blockers too often, limited making peripheral adjustments, will take a big hit from defenders pursuing horizontal to the line. Straight line-ish at times, ball security streaky issue. Fumbles were concerned at Louisiana. Powerful profile below average. Not a player trusted implicitly to do the dirty work between tackles or require more bulk to get him to that point. In terms of NFL comparison, he's been compared to Kenneth Gainwell of the Philadelphia Eagles. A lot of things to like out of his game, but he was a bit turnover prone in Louisville before he transferred over to TCU. But at TCU, it seemed like he's adjusted that pretty well. Maybe someone to keep an eye on for sure for depth. So the next player we're going to go over here, hailing out of New Hampshire, standing 5'10", weighing 203 pounds. We got Dylan Labu. So for Dylan, he's the prototype receiving running back. because he's an FCS player with no problems playing a higher level of competition. He's the ultimate Swiss Army knife in this draft class. In terms of his strengths, extremely versatile backseat, plenty of usage as a receiver and a returner, so has special teams versatility. Smart runner, takes good angles, wastes little movement, able to change direction without having to gear down significantly and break stride. Protects the ball well, knows how to angle for lighter collisions. Should be able to lock in as a roster spot on special teams value as a rookie. Runs routes like a slot receiver thanks to body language and short area quickness. He's also listed as one of the small school studs of this draft class because he's a dual threat runner receiver whose value is his versatility. He's the perfect hybrid of timeshare back for the modern NFL. In terms of his weaknesses, though, lacks typical long speed to pull away from defensive backs, can create chunk yardage, brought down easily most of the time due to his lack of strength. Not a particularly aggressive runner. Physical tools, they aren't as noticeable as usual for an FCS runner. Is a non-factor in short yardage situations. Ceiling's likely as a rotational back. Size and speed jump will create problems in pass protection. His lack of reach with 29-inch arms, it will give his QB a small margin of error when targeting him. In terms of NFL comparison, he's been compared to now retired running back Danny Woodhead. Overall, a lot of things to like out of his game. Very versatile. Has a lot of versatility. Definitely, I think, someone to keep an eye on for special teams. So the next player we're going to go over here, hailing out of Ohio State, standing 5'9", weighing 226 pounds, we got Mayan Williams. So Ramayan's strengths, compact ball and muscle, it translates to the way he runs. Easily broke through arm tackles, abused small defenders in 2022. Balance and strength through contacts, incredible in bursts. Capable pass protector, has size and tenacity to meet blitzers. Stands its ground, plays with good hand-eye coordination, timing as a pass catcher. Head stays on a swivel, rarely misses in pass protection. In terms of weaknesses, though, one-tone runner, lacks ideal burst or agility to break off long runs. Production injury questions will lead him to go much later than his raw talent may suggest. His contact balance wasn't quite the same in 2023, and he was easily brought down by Penn State linebackers if you want to watch some tape and footage there. In terms of his NFL comparison, he's been compared to now retired running back Peyton Barber. Overall, quite a few things to like out of his game for sure. A couple injuries, though, did limit his production. Maybe someone has a rotational back for sure, so he doesn't have to take the full load, maybe. So the next player we're going to go over here, hailing out of Notre Dame, standing 5'11", weighing 227 pounds, we got Audric Estim. So for Audric's strength, thickly muscled, excellent frame, efficient pathfinder, won't waste steps when he follows his blockers. Natural, powerful between the tackles, always churning legs through contact. Physicality stands out when he's squared up and puts his hands on opponents as a blocker. Quick to identify, can attack targets as a blocker. Sees leverage easily in space, can find cut-back opportunities. He consistently grinds out an extra yard or two. In terms of weaknesses, though, his stiffness makes quick lateral cuts and changing lanes hard. He's a bull in a china shop style runner, marginal elusive qualities. Slow runner without the burst or long speed to pull away. Limited length shows up when he catches passes or he works in pass protection. His speed may not meet the threshold for special teams duties. His lack of explosiveness gives him a small margin for error when he makes decisions at the line of scrimmage. And he's a non-factor as a pass catcher. In terms of NFL comparison, he's been compared to free agent running back Benny Snell Jr. Overall, quite a few things to like out of his game, but a little bit some limitations for sure. Won't really be a factor for special teams, but maybe someone as a rotational piece. So the next player we're going to go over here, hailing out of Marshall, standing 6 feet tall, weighing 215 pounds, we got Rasheen Ali. So for Rasheen's strengths, quick cuts similar to Javonte Williams, which allows for substantial yardage even when the offensive line falls apart. Burst in the backfield allows for outside runs to develop before second-level defenders can move in. Quality vision, maneuvers traffic, uses ability to navigate sticky situations for positive yardage. He never fumbled in his NC in his college career. An able, willing receiver with screen, quick pass potential. Athleticism for size is premium. In terms of weaknesses, though, the NFL is typically very cautious about guys who regress in progression in college. His blockable capabilities are developing, but it doesn't square up or use much strength. Sometimes he struggles with accelerating away from defenders when he pushes past the line. Speed's better as an outside runner, which might not translate into pros. Doesn't love contact, about average for a college back. Goes down when his legs stop. In terms of NFL comparison, he's been compared to Jerome Ford of the Cleveland Browns. Overall, a lot of things to like out of his game. Could be an interesting piece for a rotational back. So the next player we're going to go over here, hailing out of Tennessee, standing 5'11", weighing 213 pounds. We got Jabari Small. So for Jabari's strengths, he frames the ball well as a receiver. Traits suggest more opportunities in the pass game. Sets up tacklers with footwork and space. Enough wiggle to sweat past poor tackles. Cuts are quick and precise thanks to low body quickness. Urgent downhill runner. Willing to square up, can put a hand on defenders as a blocker. Processes quickly as a blocker, can find free blitzers in time. Stop-start abilities allows him for quick adjustments at the line. Easily slides between blocks, can make himself a small target as an inside runner. Terms his weaknesses, he has a hard time regaining his balance once he loses it. Doesn't put the size between tackles. Can't find tough yards through contact or push through a crowd. His lack of tackle breathing ability and space will limit his value after the catch. He's a one-beat runner without physical qualities that will separate him from his peers. Terms of NFL comparison, he's been compared to Chuba Hubbard of the Carolina Panthers. Overall, a lot of things to like out of his game. Think he could bring value as a rotational back or maybe someone that can come in on passing downs for like a running back screenplay. So the next player we're going to go over here, hailing out of Louisville, standing 5'10", weighing 185 pounds. We got Jahar Jordan. So for Jahar's strengths, quickness gives him plenty of chances to make plays in the pass game. Slippery after the catch, he was a highly productive kick returner, has the straight line and speed to find a role there as a pro, so offers special teams versatility. Incredibly agile runner, can change directions without having to slow down or take extra steps. His speed will allow him to turn the corner, can pull away from the linebackers. His athleticism allows him to catch defensive backs off guard, can find chunk gains. He will be dangerous on real routes once he gets practice. In terms of weaknesses, though, falls far below the size standards most teams want in their backs. Doesn't have the production as a receiver to match traits. Easy to bring down once wrapped up. Too light and weak to hold his own against blitzers and pass protection. Fails to make himself available as a target when the plays break down. May need to develop as a route runner and learn to work from the slot to get snaps. Bleh. Prone to make mental mistakes as a blocker. In terms of his pro comparison, he's been compared to Raymond Calais of the Michigan Panthers in the UFL. Overall, a lot of things to like out of his game, and was very productive and has great kick return ability. Think definitely potential is there for him on special teams as a kick returner. So the next player we're going to go over here, hailing out of Georgia, standing 5'10", weighing 204 pounds. We got Dejon Edwards. For Dejon's strengths, stiff arm, sharp, hard to avoid for oncoming tackles. Sharp with his change of direction, always searches for alternative paths, quickly recognizes openings. Prideful pass blocker, can throw weight behind blocks. Vision as interior runner, can create plenty of yards. Instinctive with cutbacks, has a feel for leverage. He can ride behind his blockers without stepping on their heels or running out of real estate. Able to ricochet off arm tackles, makes himself a smaller target thanks to his body control. In terms of his weaknesses, though, lack of speed will make it hard to find much success on outside runs or in space. Runs high, gets up at it easily when tackles get out of hand on him. Smaller catch radius, lack of experience as a pass catcher could keep him off the field on passing downs. Limited range of tools will make finding a place on the roster hard. Not the type of athlete for special teams uses. Finesse runner, lacks mass to drop weight, and drive through opponents. In terms of NFL comparisons, he's been compared to Mohamed Ibrahim of the Detroit Lions. Overall, quite a few things to like out of his game. Does a few things right. Maybe someone has rotational depth for sure. So the next player we're going to go over here, hailing out of UCLA, standing 6 feet tall, weighing 225 pounds. We got Carson Steele. So for Carson's strengths, good height, weight, speed for the running back position. Vision and instincts as a runner helps him create larger chunk plays. He's able to hit holes without hesitation. Not afraid to work through contact. He's willing and able to be his own blocker. Lowers the shoulder to power through first contact. He does the dirty work as a pass blocker. Shows the upside to be a 3-down back. In terms of weaknesses, though, what seemed like home run speed against MAC defenses in college ended up being more pedestrian at the Power 5 level against different tier athletes. Average acceleration, hold close before his vision allows him to see the path forward. Receiving skills middling, largely unexplored. Works better as a bruiser than someone who can get an open space and cook. Presents defense as a huge target with upright running style. In terms of his NFL comparison, he's been compared to Rashawn Johnson of the Chicago Bears. Overall, a lot of things to like out of his game. Does a lot of things right. Ain't afraid to get physical. I think that's someone that could definitely be a rotational back for sure as a third stringer. So the next player we're going to go over here, hailing out of Boise State, standing 5'10", weighing 210 pounds, we got George Holani. So for George's strengths, violent runner, plays behind his pads, shocks defenders on contact. Naturally low center of gravity makes him hard to knock around. Knack for getting skinny through crease stands out. Forward lean, generates extra yardage on a regular basis. Active eyes, keeps him in the mix as a pass blocker. Stiff arm, sharp, timely to keep defenders off. Hand catcher that can be trusted on screens. Effort and strength as a blocker is moldable. In terms of weaknesses, though, marginal speed keeps him from breaking down runs, long runs, or evading quick linebackers. Slow to gear down, can change directions. Lack of agility makes him a hittable target in the open field. Athletic measurables likely to disappoint teams compared to his peers. He's too willing to slam it to the pile rather than looking for an exit lane. Average vision once in the space, unable to find separation of receiver. Will need his pass game touches schemed up. In terms of NFL comparisons, he's been compared to Gary Brightwell of the New York Giants. Overall, quite a few things to like out of his game, but a lot of things that kind of need to get cleaned up. Maybe someone that could develop down the line into a third option running back, maybe. So the next player we're going to go over here, hailing out of South Dakota State, standing 6'1", weighing 220 pounds. We got Isaiah Davis. So for Isaiah's strength, skilled receiver, soft hands, decent route running. Prototype size for running back, shows good patience, allows blockers to create holes while still maneuvering past defenders. Can lay his shoulder, can bring some force to move defenders out of the way. Generally is able to be physical through contact in the run and against coverage, and is responsible with the football. In terms of weaknesses, though, he has mediocre athletic traits, which results in plays often ending before they really start. Had generally high-quality stats against low-level competition, but was still prone to off days. Operates almost exclusively as a north-south runner between the tackles. Rarely is able to bounce outside with effectiveness. Limited elusiveness, which results in projects as more of a grinder at the next level. Doesn't show a lot of energy as a pass blocker. Could stand to improve his foot speed and movement to result in more generated yardage and power situations. In terms of NFL comparisons, he's been compared to free agent running back Devontae Booker. Overall, a lot of things to like out of his game. Does quite a few things right. Could maybe be someone to use in passing down situations, maybe. So the next player we're going to go over here, hailing out of Southern Mississippi, standing 5'9", weighing 200 pounds, we got Frank Gore Jr. And for anyone wondering, yes, he is indeed the son of NFL running back and future Hall of Famer Frank Gore. So in terms of strengths, balanced runner, able to keep his footing when he navigates close quarters. Natural north-south runner, won't take yards off the field. Glides through change of direction, has the same type of smooth running style as Tashir Spears. Instinctive in the open field, won't be caught off guard by defenders, and he ricochets off arm tackles. In terms of his weaknesses, though, athleticism didn't pop against Florida State for any footage or tape to watch. Could signal danger for his projection. Indecisive and react at the line of scrimmage. Lacks the mass to push through tackles and get movement on contact. Jump cuts are small, don't clear him from danger. Doesn't have experience as a returner in college, and could have a hard time finding a role in a committee without adding more versatility. In terms of NFL comparison, he's been compared to Sincere McCormick of the Las Vegas Raiders. Overall, quite a few things to like out of his game. Could be someone as a rotational back for sure, and maybe a special teams if he can get some experience in there. But regardless of where he goes, he'll have a lot of expectations going into the league by default just because of who his dad is. So the next player we're going to go over here, hailing out of Oregon State, standing 6'1", weighing 233 pounds, we got Deshaun Fenwick. So for Deshaun's strengths, easy mover in the pass game for a 230-pound back. Finds forward lean, tries to attack contact, brings the power, the toughness to hold his ground as a blocker. He should find special team roles given his size and speed. Has a strong stiff arm, quick decision maker, won't hesitate when he reads blocks and attack holes. In terms of weaknesses, though, his slow feet and limited lateral quickness makes him easy to find. Unimpressive athlete without much twitch or elusiveness. He can't maintain leverage during change of direction or after contact. He goes down on first touch too often. Takes plenty of steps to gear down and redirect. Predictable plain running style for tacklers to anticipate. Seems to lose balance and go down instantly when defenders aim low. His skill set is common. In terms of NFL comparisons, he's compared to now retired running back Trey Madden. Overall, a lot of things to like. Big body running back. Could be used as a fullback. Could be used in special teams for kick and extra point. For field goals and extra point as a blocker. Maybe someone to keep an eye on for special teams. And the final running back, the final player we're going to talk about in this video, we have hailing out of Missouri, standing 5'9", weighing 214 pounds. We got Cody Schrader. So for Cody's strengths, Extremely hard worker, grinds his way to yardage, diligent approach, can read leverage, allows his blocks to set up angles. Efficient, wastes few steps in the line. Was only running back to put up over 100 rushing yards against Georgia this season if you want to watch some tape there. And I'll tell you right now, when you're putting 100 yards rushing against Georgia's defense, you're definitely doing something right. Anyway, continuing on, though, plays with low pads, downhill mentality between the tackles. In terms of weaknesses, though, his speed was lacking against SEC competition. Will only get more limiting now. Short strider, has a hard time covering ground in an open field. Jump cuts are limited, doesn't clear tackles. Short arms, small wingspan makes him easy to evade and overcome in pass protection. Lacks athleticism or hands to provide any value as a receiver. Has a very low ceiling. In terms of NFL comparisons, he's been compared to free agent running back Rodney Smith. Overall, quite things to like out of his game. Grinds hard, works his ass off. Definitely I think someone to keep an eye on that fits the culture for sure. But yeah, anyway, that'll wrap it up for this Detroit Lions 2024 NFL Draft Preview. So yeah, quite a few interesting prospects to keep an eye on in terms of running backs for day 3 of the draft, especially not only just for rotational third back pieces if we want to take Gibbs and Montgomery out for a couple plays or two to catch their breath, but also potentially not only for passing down situations, give another wrinkle for Ben Johnson to work his magic and let him cook in the pass game with his trickery, or maybe even special teams now, of course, since we got the new kickoff and special kickoff rules now too, or maybe even punt return as well, especially with, we're not sure what happened with Khalif Raymond. We know Josh Reynolds is gone. But yeah, definitely some interesting options to keep an eye on for sure. But yeah, that'll wrap it up for this draft preview. And the next draft preview, we're going to take a look at the top day 3 wide receivers to take a look at in the draft class. But yeah, anyway, that'll wrap it up here. That's all I got to say. Hope everyone has a great day. And yeah, I'll see you all over at next. I'm out.